Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Journeyman Football Manager Series with Zebu Nation. That's right, this is something new, something I haven't done before, which is a Journeyman Series. And the Journeyman Series is basically you start out as an unemployed, low-level coach, and you try to find a job, work your way up the ranks as high as you possibly can. Building different teams along the way, going to different leagues, sort of seeing the world as just a journeyman coach. Now, usually I pick a team and I stick with that team, and that's the series. The series is about the team. But now the series is going to be about me, about the manager. I'm going to see what I can do playing different football around the world. So first off, let's take a look at said coach here. Look at my profile. It's not a lot to look at here, if I'm honest with you. I chose a youth development coach. I'm only 22 years old, an American/Canadian. So my stats are not very good. I've got good, well, can't say good. I've got, above average technical, above average working with youngsters, and then I've got about average youngster knowledge. Other than that, everything else is pretty bad. Tactical, mental, and player knowledge are my best stats after those three core stats. So basically, we're going to be looking to find clubs that want to build a youth team and see what I can do with that. Now, my knowledge base is in the United States and Canada, mostly the United States. But I don't think I'm going to get much of a shot to play in the United States because the only playable teams in the United States right now are MLS clubs, so I can't play in any lower division, and I don't think any MLS club is going to hire a 22-year-old American with no experience whatsoever. So it was kind of a difficult process finding a job. Now, if you've never done a Journeyman series, you start out unemployed, and there's a list of maybe a dozen or so, maybe a little more head coaching jobs available around the world. A lot of them in China and Korea, maybe, depending on what leagues you've got loaded. I've loaded a bunch of leagues in this series just to, get as many opportunities as possible. But I ended up, after the whole coaching carousel thing came around, I ended up in the Vanarama National League North at Worcester City. So here we go. Good old city, I guess is what they're called. Take a look at their overview and their club background. Founded in 1902, Worcester City is a semi-professional English club currently playing in the Vanarama National League North. Worcester narrowly avoided relegation from the Vanarama North last season. The club play their home games at Victoria Ground and possess basic training facilities, very basic youth facilities. The club has a fairly basic junior coaching and basic youth recruitment network. The club is affectionately known as City and retains a fierce rivalry with Redditch United. So as you can see from that description, we're not dealing with a lot of resources here. Our facilities are very, very poor. Basic is, I believe, the lowest level you can have. It just means like you've got a field and some soccer balls, and that's about all you've got. The club enjoyed probably their best spell of success during the 1980s, although now enduring a 15-year barren spell, having not won a competition since 2001. City still have a history which they can be proud. I'm not going to say they can't be proud of their history, but it's a history that is falling far back in the rearview mirror, so we've got to bring some of their accomplishments up into the modern era here. Worcester won the English Sixth Tier for the only time in 1979 and won the Southern League in 1940 and 2001. Came in second place 2 other times. So they haven't won anything since 2001. That's a long time. 15 years, as they said, and they haven't won the Southern Premier League since 79. Does that even exist anymore? I don't know. But anyway, it's been a long time for this club to have any kind of accolades. So we'll see if we can change that. We haven't had much to look at in this club yet, so we'll go down the checklist and see what we have to work with. First of all, finances. We're not too hot in this area. $75,000 is the overall balance of the club. That's not a lot to work with. The payroll is pretty decent. $299,000. It's going to be $300,000 by the time we reach our first season, so that's good. No transfer budget, as I mentioned. So it's going to be slim pickings. We're going to have to go out. If we need to find players, we're going to have to go out and find players on free transfer and just bring them in and hope they're pretty good. Take a look at the board. Our job security is stable. Of course, we just got hired. We have some vacancies in the staff. We don't have a general manager. We don't have a head of youth development, under 23s, under 18s. We don't have any coaching staff there. We have one head physio and a physio. We don't have any under 18s. We don't have any scouts. So we're missing a lot of things at this club that we're going to need. So hopefully we can do something about that and, take a look at the club. It is semi-professional. So, resources are going to be limited. Our players aren't going to be getting paid much. I've played in the Venorama before, and it is a struggle to find players, to pay players, all of that stuff. It's very, very frustrating at times, but we'll see if we can work our way up here in the journeyman situation that we've gotten ourselves in. Let's see. General information. We looked at that before. Redditch is our fierce rival. Also have rivals with Kidderminster, Hereford, Tamworth, and Gloucester. So we got a lot of stuff going on there. The owner loves the club. That's good. Not much else going for us. Obviously no transfers. We haven't scouted anybody yet. We're going to need to do that pretty soon. Training. We can take a look at what coaches we do have. We have John Snape as our assistant coach, which is kind of funny, sort of a Harry Potter reference, maybe. But we're going to have to lean on this guy. He works with youngsters very well, so that's good. He's adaptable. He's determined. I mean, look at that determination. That's very good. Because a lot of times when you have these young semi-professional teams, they run out of determination, and it's not good for club morale. So the fact that our assistant coach is a determined fellow, hopefully that will rub off on some of our young players. Other than that, though, he doesn't give us a whole lot. A little bit on defending, a little bit mental, but not much. This guy, he's more of a team guy, works with the youngsters, and that's about it. And then a coach. Well, that's all we got as a coach. So not a lot going on with the coaching staff. Now we have ourselves, which is Zebu Nation Jr., head coach. Our specialty apparently is ball control, so we're going to do that. We're going to need to hire some more coaches. So let's take a look at the coaching staff here. I've already put out some advertisements for a goalkeeping coach and a fitness coach, because I think both of those are pretty important. I know we're going to be struggling in some of the other areas, but if you get goalkeeping and you get fitness, it can do a lot of things for you, especially at this lower level. Put out some advertisements for some scouts as well, so we're not going to be able to scout, internationally or anything like that, but right now we just need to scout our local area, maybe scout down in London or someplace like that, just find some players and at least understand what's going on, because we don't even know, honestly, our own players. Let's take a look. Let's do a quick pick and see if they'll pick for us. There we go. So there's our assessment of the team. We have basically exactly how many players we need to field a team. We have one serious injury here. Sam Oji, our central defender, is injured for 2 to 3 weeks, but that's okay because we don't have any games coming up anytime soon. So here are my formations that I like to use. I like to use the 4-4-2 diamond, 4-1-2-3 DM wide, and then I've got my third slot open, maybe for a 4-3-3 that works at the lower levels. We'll see what we'll do with that. But we're going to start with these two formations and see what we can do. For example, we have a decent young right winger, 17-year-old Elijah Chalekwa. He's got some pace and some acceleration, so that's good. Some flair. 17-year-old Welshman. But if we play the diamond formation, we got no room for this guy, so we'll see what that's all about. We got Connor Hughes, who I guess would be playing our left winger. So anyway, we got to look at our roster and see who's who and what's what. But for right now, it looks like we've got a pretty decent team, at least according to our scouting ability. Looks like we've got an outstanding goalkeeper, Ethan Ross, on loan to us from West Brom, 18 years old. Again, we got an incredibly young team. We got good fullback, good central defender. So it looks like defense is going to be a strength of this team, which is fine because we're a defensive coach as well. Midfield looks okay. Again, youngsters with potential, so that's good. We've got a good striker up front here. He's a defensive forward, though. That's not really what we want in Jordan Murphy. We don't really want our lone striker to be a defensive striker, but you know what? Sometimes you got to go with what you got to go with. And we don't have a second striker on our team, so I don't know that the diamond formation is going to do us any good. Right. So, this is what we're going to have. This is what we're going to have to stick with. So it'll be an interesting season with these guys. As I said, we're going to have to go out and find some players, see what's going on. Our under 18s, we have one player in our under 18s, still a youth prospect. Che Tilt. It's a funny name, but I like it. 18 years old. He looks pretty good. He's pacey. He's got good crossing, good first touch. We might have to sign this guy up. He's on loan from West Brom. Again, a youth academy, a youth talent. So I don't see why we wouldn't bring this guy up and play him. Can he play left? Yeah, he can play right or left. Pretty good. So we're probably going to call that guy up. Other than that, we got no talent in our under 18s. We got a couple of players in our under 23s who don't look that good, honestly. Kieran Morris, 20 years old. Not really very good central defender at all. Nathan Olakunmi. Good crossing for a right winger, pace, acceleration, jumping reach. He's a decent looking guy, but at 22 years old, he's reaching the end of his developmental cycle. So there we have it. There is Worcester City, our first ever journeyman squad. This is who we're starting with. Not a lot happening. We can go through what we're expected and all that kind of stuff. So we have a meeting with the board coming up. This is from Anthony Hampson, the president. I would like to formally welcome you to Worcester. The board would like to assure you that you can rely on their full backing and that they are looking forward to working with you. In terms of your contract with the club, you've been given a deal until June 2017, worth $17,500 per year. Now that's fine. They gave me a 1-year contract, but we don't actually play any games until August. So I'm going to assume as long as I don't break the budget, they're going to give me a contract extension, before we reach the regular season. Otherwise, they're going to hire me just for one off season and then let me go. I don't think that sounds like a very good idea. Anyway, staff members from the previous regime have been retained, but they will all accept the mutual termination of their contract should you wish to bring in your own coaching staff. I don't think so, since there's only like 3 guys on the whole team. I don't see a need to fire them. Anyway, our philosophies is to sign young players for the first team, and that's what I went through all my interviews, and that's what I said I wanted to do, because again, I'm a youth coach. So it just makes sense that I would want to try to sign young players. And that's what I'll do. So in order to aid with the transition, Anthony Hampson, the club's president, and your assistant coach, John Snape, would like to hold a meeting with you in regarding the club, its history, and the delegation of staff responsibilities. Attending just Snape's meeting will signal your intention to not meet with the board at this time. You know what? I'll attend the meeting. Why not? I'm having the meeting with Anthony Hampson. Hi, Zebu. Welcome to City. I'd like to take a few minutes of your time to welcome you to the club before heading over to your assistant coach, who's going to discuss staff responsibilities with you. I also want to assure you that you have the full backing of the board and that we have hired you if I don't feel, and that we wouldn't have hired you if we didn't feel that you were the right person for the job. That's great. Let's get this meeting started. Worcester City are obviously a club with a large history, I guess so. The fans really appreciate it when newly appointed head coach takes the time to increase his knowledge of the club. I appreciate you might already have a fair amount of knowledge of Worcester's background. I mean, I looked them up on Wikipedia, so I guess that's something, right? I can put a detailed overview of the club history. Sure, sounds great. I already read what they're going to send me, but it's fine. It's tradition to hold a press conference. Sure, I'll hold a press conference. Thanks for answering my questions. I'm now going to hand the meeting over to your assistant coach. One final note. The club has many responsibilities which can either be handled by yourself or other members of the staff. Feel free to adjust the staff responsibilities as you see fit. Okay, thanks again for the introduction, and I hope we have a long, successful career. Okay, so here's my assistant coach, John Snape. Hi, Zebu. I'm John Snape, your assistant coach. I've got some questions to ask regarding day-to-day running of the team. Okay. I've written a report for you regarding the team. Would you like me to send it to you? Yeah, sure, that'd be great. I'd love to see any second opinions. Would you like me to arrange a meeting with the rest of your staff? Yes, that would be great. I don't have anyone else, but that's fine. Would you like me to help you with any other tasks at the club? I don't think I need any help. I've done this enough. I don't want to set up any automated tasks, so thanks for your help. I know where to find you if I need anything. Okay, cheers. There you go. This concludes the meeting. Do we want to make a board request right off the bat? We can't have any coaches allowed. Personal, new contract, networking. We could try to find a senior affiliate. Do we have any affiliates at the moment? No. So we might want to try that. Increase, decrease. Junior coaching budget, not at the moment. Facilities. Improve training facilities. I would like the training facilities improved. You haven't been with us for very long. You should work with what you have for now. Alright. I'm pretty sure they would say that, but why not give it a shot, right? You never know. So here's the background on the club. I already read it before, but they've got one Southern League Premier Division win back in '79, and then 2 Southern League Cups. The nearest one is from 2001. Our fierce rivals is Redditch. Play at the Victoria Ground. Take a look at the Victoria Ground. Looks pretty good. Capacity 4,893. Field condition perfect. I like that. I like a little ground maintenance here, because last time I played in the Venerama League, like, our field just got tore up and turned to garbage. It was no good. No matches, no competitions. Got a lot of teams that play here at the moment. Bromsgrove Sporting, under 23s for us and under 23s for Bromsgrove. Okay, that's fine. So there's a lower league team that plays here. I mean, I guess that's fine. We'll share. So here's our report from our assistant coach. Strength, defensive depth. Yeah, I think that was my assessment as well. James Chambers is one of our 3 best players. James Chambers is one of the 6 players who can play central defense. That's good. Goalkeeping is a strength. Excellent player. Ethan Ross. That's good. Again, defense. Payroll budget, there's plenty of room in the payroll budget with an additional $60,000 per year. That might not sound like a lot, but here in this league, that's a lot. There are some, it's like, there are some teams that aren't worth that. Maybe not in the Vanarama North, but in the Vanarama, like the league below this, the National League, then yeah, that could be a whole team's worth of salary right there. Youth prospects, there are a number of talented youth prospects, including Kieran Morris and Jamie Smith. Shea Tilt on loan at the club. Kieran Morris, 20-year-old central defender, 3-star potential, 2-star player at the moment. Like, he's not wowing me with his abilities here. He's got good leadership, concentration, aggression, fitness. He's not the worst guy I ever saw, but he's not good either, so that's something. Request youth facilities. I think we already tried that, so we'll try it again. I'd like you to improve the youth facilities. You haven't been with us for very long. Yeah, so there we go. Danny Jackson, suited to taking corners. We got a long way to go before we need to mess with that. So I don't think there's much else we need to look at. Yeah, they want us to finish mid-table in the Vanarama North. I think that's something I promised them, so we'll try to do that. That might be a little bit more difficult than I envisioned when I first looked at this team, but, we're okay. Reached the 4th qualifying round of the FA Cup and reached the 1st round of the FA Trophy. I think we can accomplish both of those things automatically. So, yeah, so the next couple of months are going to be just going through the days, reading emails, not doing a heck of a lot, hiring some coaches, doing a lot of scouting, and then as we get closer to the preseason, then we'll start bringing in some players on trial, and hiring some players and whatever we can do to improve the team, and then we'll play our preseason games and all that stuff. So it should be from here on out a mostly regular save, but for now, this is the beginning of it, and we'll see what we can do with this Journeyman series. I don't think there's going to be as many episodes per season, because I'm going to try to fly through these seasons, especially early, just to try to get into a better league, because playing games at this level can be pretty frustrating because your players are so terrible. But anyway, I guess that's it for now. So we'll see you a little bit later for a off-season recap and our first preseason game. So until then, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.